CraigsList is such an interesting place, and there's so many interesting things going on that I just can't stay away from it. It's you know, that car accident syndrome. So I spend about, I'd say, half an hour a day on email, not including work stuff. Spend about an hour, maybe more, on Facebook, and I spend about an hour on Craigslist. These are the three sites that are on the top always of my my search bar, history, whatever you want to call it. What an interesting world we live in. So I want to talk a little bit about Craigslist, because Craigslist is a phenomenon, is an absolute phenomenon. Free ads, personals, local lost and founds. It's just a really, really, really interesting tool. But I love it. The reason I spend most of my time, I hope it's not most of my time, but a lot of time on Craigslist, is it's such an interesting sociological experiment. Craigslist is, I'd say, fascinating for me for a couple of reasons. Mainly, it's the M for M section, or if you're not familiar with the lingo, it's the men searching for men. It's the gay men area. The M for M section is interesting because, alright, so I go to Penn State, and the people that are out and open and gay, maybe 1% of the student body, probably less. But if you look at Craigslist, you would think that the number is probably closer to 10 or 15%, which maybe in reality or biologically, statistically speaking, it is. But because of Pennsylvania and the social norms, it's a little bit of a lower number. So what I love about it is a lot of the guys that post on there are, of course, it's discreet on the down low, DL, and they're all bottoms, of course. And their girlfriends, they have girlfriends, and you have to be discreet because they don't want their girlfriend to know that they like to get fucked on the weekends when the girlfriends go away, which is always very convenient. Every time I log in, there's always someone who's, oh, my girlfriend's gone for tonight, or my girlfriend and her friends are leaving this weekend, they're going here, and I wanna have a discreet hookup in my place. And it's just such a bizarre phenomenon. It's interesting because it breaks down some of the social barriers that exist when you have that face-to-face communication, that the awkwardness that can sometimes exist for someone who is experimenting and curious about the same sex. And I'd be interesting if there was some sort of a poll published that could show exactly how many men have had their first experience with guys through the internet, something like Craigslist or some of the other social networking places. I mean, I'm sure guys have even hooked up through Facebook, through MySpace, I guarantee it. What's interesting is that a lot of sexual boundaries obviously come down. A lot of unique appetites come forth when you have the anonymity of the internet involved. Hey dudes, just a typical frat bro here, looking for hot times with a hot stud, and send to receive, which means send me your pictures before I send you mine, because I'm on the DL or down low. I mean, it's just, first off, you have to know a lot of internet lingo, really just Craigslist lingo. Second off, it is just funny. I mean, if only the real world were as honest and people were as genuine with you as they are on the internet, with you know, people liking you and disliking you. I think the world would be a better place. I'd be curious to see how many times a straight guy logs in and hooks up with people through that. That's not my only fascination. I mean, it's of course the most interesting, but it's interesting also to see some of the stuff that people are selling and some of the stuff that people are giving away for free, some of the services that people offer each other, if you can call them services without getting the police involved. You know, local stuff that goes on, bands and volunteerism and stuff like that. It's just such an interesting tool. But you'll notice something else as a major theme here. CraigsList is filled with men. So if you are searching for a woman, and you are a man, you are fucked. And it'll probably always be that way. Because, generally speaking, the male proclivity for sex and sexual encounters is a lot higher. And also the anonymity makes men feel more comfortable. And so they're willing to ask or offer things that they wouldn't in real life. And so fascinating. Really, really, really fascinating. Enjoy CraigsList. Oh, and if you have any interesting CraigsList stories or posts that you've seen that have totally just shocked you, go ahead and drop them in the comment box below, and I'll read it, because I need to get off CraigsList and I need to get on YouTube more often.